Welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan, and today we're going to be talking dollars and cents, trying to answer a pretty straightforward question. Can I expect more profit from a 2002 Kenworth Quad or a 2019 Mack Quint? A couple of weeks ago, I was driving one of our older Kenworth Quads. Um, Nice truck. I enjoyed driving it. Uh, it's uh, it's versatile, can do a lot of different things. In the cab of the Kenworth, there's a fuel mileage readout, and I glanced at it, and it said it's getting 4.99 miles per gallon. Uh, I've used the 5 mile per gallon figure in my previous budget video, and I just thought, oh, that's interesting. So I snapped a picture of it. And then later that week, I was driving one of our newer Mack Quints, a bigger truck, aluminum body, different transmission. And in the course of setting up the instruments on the dashboard in the Mack, I noticed the MPG display, and it said 6.5 miles per gallon. And so I had some dead time that day, and I started thinking, well, which would be more profitable? So my first answer is pretty straightforward. Obviously, the bigger truck that gets better fuel mileage would be more profitable. But then I thought a little more. I said, well, wait, the newer, bigger truck, the purchase price would be higher. So would the extra profit be enough to justify the higher purchase price? And then it occurred to me this is exactly the type of question that the dump truck toolbox um, budget would help us answer. And so I've pulled together some data. I went out and I found two used dump trucks. One is a 2002 Kenworth quad axle. It's a little older than the truck that I drive where I work, but it's in the ballpark. And then I found a 2019 Mack Quint axle, a little newer than the truck I was driving, but once again in the ballpark. And so let me give you a comparison of these two trucks. And so the Kenworth, the used one I found online, the asking price was $55,000, while the Mack, the asking price was $219,900. In our area, a quad like the Kenworth would get $105 hourly rate. Um, the the Mack Quint would get $110 hourly rate. Um, I'm assuming you're going to put down $10,000. Originally, I was going to say 20% down, but then we're comparing apples and oranges because the down payment on the Mac would be so much higher. So we're just going to say you're going to put 10,000 down. So with the Kenworth, you'd have to borrow $45,000 at a 60-month loan at 5% interest. That would work out to a monthly truck payment of $849. For the Mac, you would fund a loan for $209,900. Same terms, 5% interest, 60 months. The monthly payment would be $3,961. And that's what makes this comparison interesting, is the additional um, uh, $3,100 a month worth it for a larger, newer truck with better fuel mileage. So the MPG 4.98 for the Kenworth Quad, 6.5 for the Mack Quint. The other day, I happened to be in a truck stop, and the price of diesel was $3.99.9 per gallon, and then the price of DEF was $4.29 a gallon. The older Kenworth quad does not use DEF, while the newer Mack does. And so factoring in a ratio of DEF to diesel of 2.5%, and the figures I saw say that it can run anywhere from 2 to 3%, depending on the way the engine is tuned and designed. And so the fuel cost per mile for the Kenworth is 80.3 cents per mile. For the Mack, with the cost of DEF factored in, the fuel cost per mile was 63.2 cents. Okay, maintenance cost. This is an interesting question. A newer truck's going to probably have less maintenance, you would expect. And I've been searching for a good, reliable set of data on maintenance costs for dump trucks. And I found this study from one of the U.S. Department of Energy labs, and they're quoting some data from another study, and this seemed just like great data. But the trucks used in this study, while they were dump trucks on the purple line, the second highest line, they were dump trucks in this study. The usage of the trucks are different than most independent owner operators would be. Their trucks had many fewer miles per year. And so when I looked at the maintenance cost per mile, it was like, whoa, this is really high. And then I looked at the maintenance cost per year and I said, whoa, this is really low. And so the actual dollar figures didn't make a whole lot of sense here. The pattern, though, is exactly what you would expect. You can see that the purple line starts off around 67 cents a mile, I think, for a new truck. And then as the truck gets older, it gets up to closer to $2 a mile. Once again, that's for a low usage, a truck that, a road repair crew or a landscape crew or whatever might drive out to the site at the beginning of the day, go out and pick up a load or two, go get lunch, and then drive back home. Unlike what I do when I haul, where I am, potentially driving a couple hundred miles if I'm hauling material from a remote yard. But the pattern is about right. And so what I'm going to assume is that our maintenance cost for the older truck is a little over twice what it would be for the newer truck. So I'm estimating maintenance cost of $833 a month for the 2002 Kenworth quad axle and $400 a month for the 2019 Mack Quint. Well, let's put the figures into our budget spreadsheet. And so the profit for 1 year for the 2002 Kenworth quad axle dump truck would be just under $100,000. And this is based on a lot of assumptions. You can look back to my earlier video that lays out the behind the scenes simulation of a year in the life of a dump truck to get more of the details. The Mack, newer with a larger truck payment, but less fuel cost, running the same schedule, but getting $5 more per hour when it's being rented out. Over the course of a year, it would generate profit of $91,297. So you put it side by side, the Kenworth, lower purchase price, more fuel cost, the profit over 5 years would be close to $500,000. The Mack, over 5 years, the same 5 years, running the same schedule, but getting $5 more a mile and a lower fuel cost, would earn $456,000. So a difference of over $40,000 to the advantage of the older, smaller truck. And so does this mean you should buy an older, smaller truck? Well, after 5 years, there's a big change in the formula because both trucks are paid off. So after 5 years, you would own a 2002 Kenworth quad axle, which would be 26 years old at that time. The 2019 Mack would be 9 years old. It's a substantially more valuable truck. It's newer, it's bigger. And once the truck payment drops out of the equation, the profit for the Kenworth quad would be about $110,000 a year. The profit for the Mack would be $131,000 a year. And so once you pay the truck off, the advantage swings dramatically to the Mack. So what's the right choice? Well, it depends on who you are. It depends on, what you're trying to accomplish. If you're in it for the long haul, I would probably lean towards the larger, newer truck because that fuel mileage is going to make such a big difference in your bottom line. If you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of cash, you just want to get going, it's easier to get into the older, smaller truck, and maybe you're going to bootstrap. Maybe you're going to run that truck for a few years. As it gets older and the maintenance costs go up, you would take the money out of the business and invest in a more profitable truck down the road. So this is the way that I look at these types of decisions. It's not a hard and fast rule. Always buy new, always buy big, always buy small, never buy a truck that uses DEF. You can get those hard and fast rules from other people. I always see it in terms of the best decision depends on the situation and what you're trying to accomplish as an owner-operator. So I hope you found today's video useful and interesting. If so, please hit the like button. As always, we're looking for subscribers. When you subscribe, it helps other people find our channel faster. And then please join the conversation below. I mean, which truck would you rather have? What's the model for your business? What are you trying to accomplish? And join the dialogue, and better conversation leads to better insight for everybody. And so, as always, be safe out there, no matter how old the truck or how big it is. And I'll see you again soon on the Dump Truck Toolbox.